Shit. Yo, what up? D Block. Let's start this early. Let's go. Yo, man. So, these niggas secretly in control me. And the fucked up thing is I actually had some audio. And it was alive. Like, there's a guy named Smoke Signals, all right? And I like Smoke Signals. He's cool. He's with the Aboriginal side. Smoke Signal does this thing like fucking like Q Butter does. He makes these 14, 15, fucking 16-hour long fucking videos or lives. This is what he does. And it's cool. I know why people do it. You can get away with a lot more because, you know, ain't nobody going to be able to, YouTube's not going to be able to fucking watch this 14 hours, bro. So it keeps your stuff up, and that's cool. But anyway, it's his show, but it's a guy named Root Words, and I think I've brought his name up before. But it's him, and it's supposed to be this Native American, and they're like going back and forth, right? Root Words calls himself a Moor. That's what he says. He says he's a Moor, whatever. The Native American said something though. And it's like, I wanted y'all to hear the audio, but it's like they like I said, he put it on private, or it's not allowed in the country, whatever. So the Native American says something that stuck out to me, and I'm like, that's pretty deep there. So he says that he was told, doesn't mean that, you know, it's correct, even though I know it is, but he's saying he was told that he was told the Moors in the European was cool. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, I heard that they worked with each other. You know what I'm saying? They was friends, because Root Word keeps bringing up this Moor talk, right? He's the one who claimed to be a Moor. Okay. And the natives like, well, wait a minute, I heard they was cool with the Christians though. Like they was cool with each other. I'm bringing that up to say something. If America was truthfully racist, and we're going back to something old I've brought up before, we're going to do it again. If America was truthfully racist, how did this even happen? Look at the spelling. You know what I'm saying? That way we know that we're not stupid. Look how it's spelled. M-O-O-R. Okay, the Moors Charity School for Indian Education, kept here, 1754, 1770, by Elzar Willock. Okay, that's saying a lot about Willock as a name, because a lot of people will say that you know, it's a white man's language. It's English. You can't be black. You're from Africa, right? But Moors were in Europe for a long ass time, just like in Spain and Portugal. They were there for a long time. So I want y'all to get out your head that England is European, or not European. England is pale-faced. That's not true. They come from the Cargus Mountain. They was not over there. Europe itself is named after a Greek mythology black woman. In Greek mythology, Europe or Europa is that's a black woman. So literally, when you hear, it's kind of an oxymoron when you hear, you know, pro-black say, oh, European. The name Europa, Europe itself is a melanated woman. So you're not insulting them by calling them Europeans. Actually, you're giving them your birthright. You're giving them your shit, and that's why they don't mind. Only ones you're going to hear have a fit about being called European is a I'm proud to be an American type pale face. They're like, I ain't no fucking European, I'm fucking American, bitch. Okay, that's different. But even if you did call them European, you still be incorrect because that name comes from Greek mythology, but of a black woman. So that's just to say that. I wish I had the audio so you guys could have heard the Native American say it. It was just funny that he said it. He's like, well, I was always told that the Moors and the Christian whites were friends. They were working with each other. So then you think about Nino that was on Christopher Columbus shit. Remember, they're all friends. All of them are homies. Don't ever get it confused. The Spaniard and the European are not enemies. They were both doing the same things. Even to this day, you go to prison, the Hispanics and the whites get along more than the Hispanic and the blacks. They say it's a cultural difference. No. You guys have the same ideological background, just like the Asian. That's why the Asian and the Hispanics get along with the whites more than you. It ain't got nothing to do with Africans. That's a complete lie. Them Caribbean, Puerto Rican, Dominican, they all cool as fuck with them Jamaicans. They friends. So they ain't hating on Africa. They're not hating on Africa. They you even have them with the Santa Maria and all that stuff. Bro, they practice that stuff. You know, you'll meet a lot of Puerto Ricans that will admit, oh yeah, I got African blood in me, and yeah, we know these deities and stuff like that. So they don't have a problem with the African. They don't have a problem with the European, or I'm sorry, the pale face. They don't have a problem with the Asian. They have a problem with you. Why? And then why don't you see a large amount of these Hispanics going to the reservations and showing homage and paying homage if those are their people, supposedly? Tell you a true story. Coming from San Diego, I was working for a Jew, actually. I met him through my friend. God bless his dad. My friend got killed by the police. But I met him through him, and we were doing some work for him, kind of like storage moving to different stuff. He had these different type companies where he would empty out storages and send them to where people are going. Like, you know, say that people have already moved to Ohio, but they have their storage. Okay, somebody has to empty it to put it in the truck to send it on its way. So that's what we were doing. So as I'm working with him, it wasn't just me and my friend. He had a few other people. So one day I'm working with 3 other cats. They all are perceived as Hispanic, but they're not. 2 of them were. One of them was a Native American. You know what I'm saying? He claimed to be a Native American. That's what he claimed. Not saying he was lying, because what I'm about to say. So me and him start talking. And you know, I know my Indian shit. So we talking. He told me he hates Hispanics. He can't stand them. And I was like, damn, that's kind of harsh. Why you say it like that? He's like, because, bro. He's like, that's one of the worst people to come over here. Like, the white man did way better of a job with us than them. And I was like, I feel you. You know what I'm saying? And then the whole story about, feeding or sicking wild dogs on the Aztecs and stuff like that. It's like, how the hell could they turn around and then claim these people? That's how you know they're not them. I'm saying that because I'm bringing it all ahead to say something. I'm not talking about the average person on the street. I don't care about that. I'm talking about history, first of all, so nobody should be taking this personal. But in the end, I don't believe that, the American Negro that goes through so much and goes through what they go through, I don't think that's by accident. If Moors are truthfully from the East, then it makes sense why when Africans or melanated beings from the East come over here, they get more respect and more benefits than the American Negro. Why is that if we're both supposedly from Africa? I'm telling you, because we're American Indians. We're not Africans. And they know that. That's why the Moors had a charity school for Indian education. This is why. Why are they intertwining with them? Because they're trying to indoctrinate them. But for who? Who is going to come up later with this Jim Crow law and white supremacy and white is right and black is wrong and all? Who's going to do that? And who are they doing that to? I don't want to hear about, oh, the Asian and the Hispanics were put through the ringer back in the day, because for some reason they homies now. Like, and I mean clutch, like next to each other, they cool. But we're still not. But they're a minority like us. But I've been told us we're not a minority. Minorities are these foreigners in the Ku Klux Klan. That's the original minority. That's the whole point of them creating the Democrats. Motherfuckers don't want to believe that because that's the oldest party. That's fine. But democracy works in a different way. I know we have democracy here, like we're allowed to debate and talk. That's not the type of democracy that they're doing. They're talking about majority rule. So just because there's 50 idiots in the room and only 2 geniuses, the idiots win because they're a more group. They're in the bigger numbers. That's how democracy works. A republic is a standard. It's a set of rules. You have to follow them. That is what it is to be inside the republic. You have to go by these standards. Bringing it all to the head. How is it that everybody can come from outside of here and come up, but the people that are in here can't? Here's another weird thing. How does a group go from being family orientated or orientated in the most horrific times of them being somewhere, and then once the times get lighter and easier, they just cannot unite? They're just completely disbanded, disbarred. They cannot get their circle together. Why? Well, it's kind of like my last video when I told you the first spellcasters that were melanated that they let out were some Muslims. It was that Noble Drew Ali dude who claimed to be a what? It's a Moor. They're like, oh, well, they killed him in prison. Who said that? How do you know that's true? I'm not talking about these goofy Moors that be out here that don't know the law. No, I'm talking about, why would the law even be around Moors? Why is that there? Just because this is a fool who don't know anything doesn't mean that the information is not valid. Why on the back of the dollar is it speaking in Latin? Why? Where did they learn that from? These some old English speaking fucking white people. How the fuck is the Latin language even around if they cut these motherfuckers off at the Alamo? Who's keeping that shit around? It can't be no fucking what we call conquistador Hispanics. It can't be, because they knocked them off at the Alamo. So who's keeping this shit around? How did they even have that language? And why is it old Latin? Why is it not this, broken down Spanish that, Western Hispanics speak? Everybody knows that's not original Spanish. That's like slang. Like, they even say that about Mexicans. They're like, bruh, that language that they're using is like slang. It's not even real Latin. It's not even real Spanish, really. It's not. Why is that? But on the back of that damn dollar is some real Latin. Why? Here's another interesting thing. Why they got the Eye of Providence on there? Why is there so much Masonic shit on that $1 bill? Why was George Washington Mason? Who taught him? This is all way back in the day, motherfucker. It's like, so 1776 is when the country is founded. All right, this school lasts all the way to 1770. So George Washington was alive. How are these niggas walking around doing this? What you telling me? He was a 6-year-old general in 1776? Shut up. I believe he was the first president. He was 30 years old, I think. So, what, maybe he's like 25, some shit like that? Okay, he ain't not no kid. How these niggas got schools? Who would allow them to do that? Why has Prince Hall got a fucking lodge in 1775? Before, not only blacks are set free. But before the country's even founded, he already has a fucking lodge. Why did they let him do that? Why is it on record that Prince Hall and George Washington were friends? Nigga, they even slept back to back in the same bed. Why? Why are those stories even there if everything's so racist and everybody's so evil and against each other and they hate black people and all that? Who the fuck are these Moors? And why don't they teach this shit in the fucking public school program? Why do they not talk about Moors at all? They only talk about Muslims. When they talk about the Crusades, they talk about Muslims. They made sure to word a religion instead of some people that were running this religion. Way before the pale-faced Arab even comes on the scene. I always tell people, if you want to know the reason that the genie, aka the jinn, this is what the Muslim will say, the reason that he has a vest, the reason that he's dressed a certain way with a certain belt, like Sinbad, these were niggas. Toad from Mario Brothers got the little vest on him, bro. These were niggas. Like I said, the genie. You look at the original genie from Aladdin, got the vest on, niggas. Aladdin, vest on, niggas. These are niggas. Mr. Popo is burnt black. Who he dressed like? Oh, he dressed like an Arab Muslim. Why? Why are you calling that the Muslim when you know damn well they stay wrapped the fuck up? It don't make no sense. It's a complete oxymoron. Bro, the people you're meeting today are all wrapped the fuck up. Why? Because they pale as fuck and they're in the desert. You're going to burn a hole in your head. You're not from out here. Period. They even claim to be nomads, so they're dwellers. So, motherfucker, you wandered over there. But the vest makes perfect fucking sense. It's hot as shit. And from all the descriptions I've given you, you should be able to put two and two together. Who they have in chains locked the fuck up? The genie, aka the jinn. So basically, the niggas are evil. That's what they're saying. The niggas with all the magic, because the genie's the one with the magic. All of this shit, that's wicked. That's all the wicked stuff. The people who we stole from, they're the wicked evil ones. And we're the good people. It's common sense. You can tell. Bro, even the fucking black stone that they follow, it's black. It's a black fucking stone. Even the little square box that they walk around is pitch black. These niggas is snitching on themselves. You just don't get it because motherfucker, you lost. And it's like, that's fine. That's cool. I would say Piccolo's a Moor. But that's why they're green, though. That has a lot to do with, earth growth, Saul, Osiris, fucking, even black people are born with, like, green blotches on them. Like, we know that story. That's shit. Honestly, nah. Even how the Namics dress, they kind of dress like niggas. Look at them shoes and shit. It's like, really, yeah, kind of. But nah, we're not on no cartoons with this shit. How is it 1754 to 1770, and these cats was allowed to teach people? First of all, that's crazy. Motherfuckers, I thought couldn't even learn to read. So if you look like this, you're not even allowed to read. But it clearly says Moore's Charity School for Indian Education. So they had some melanated beings, because only a Moor, a paleface cannot be a Moor. The whole point of saying Moor is saying that it has pigment, is color. That's the whole point of it. You can't say that the Moor is the original Spaniard from Al-Andalus. The Moor is the original Arabian. The Moor is the original African. The Moor is the Barbadian, or not Barbadian, but the Barbary Coast. You can't claim all that and then say he's a white person. That don't make any sense. Black Knight, Martin Lawrence. What did the dude call him? Yeah, whatever. Moor. Why does he keep saying it like that? And why does he keep saying it with distaste? He's not saying it like in a good way. He's saying it like disingenuous. Moor, you're just a Moor. It's like, why is he saying that? So we know who they are. These can't be no pale-faced people. So how they got a school in the pale-faced land where supposedly all melanated beings are being, sold and all this different stuff? Bruh, there has to be a differential. So if they could differentiate between the Moor and the slave back then, and the Moor is trying to indoctrinate the Indians, then what the Indians look like? couldn't be these Native American motherfuckers you see today. That's impossible, because why would they be trying to indoctrinate them? Swarthy, yeah, I know. They say George Washington was swarthy. Maybe that's why he was kicking it with the fucking Moor. I don't know. Maybe Prince Hall and shit, the Barbadian. Maybe that's why he was kicking it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's why supposedly he was mad at his people for allowing the slaves to escape through the original Underground Railroad on the way to Canada with Josiah Henson. Or maybe he wasn't. Maybe he knew that they were getting out and motherfucker, he was allowing it, and then somebody else wrote it in history later because he's dead and said, no, he was mad. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe it was all niggas. Maybe it's true. Maybe the original slave master is a nigga. Makes sense. The Africans sold the Africans, right? So maybe this world is secretly being ran by niggas. Maybe it really is. Well, we're like, well, why would they let them be poor and stuff? Bruh, who are you talking about? You're talking about the American Negro, right? You have to be. You can't talk about the African. The Africans sold themselves. So any poverty in Africa is stricken simply because of the African. It has nothing to do with nobody else. They didn't get their towns burnt. They didn't have a bunch of shit and them motherfuckers lied about their history and hit them in the head. There's only two people on earth that had that story, and it's the American Indian and the American Negro, ironically. Well, aren't we talking about what happened on American soil? And now, you listen to the school program and they're going to tell you black people were slaves all the way until 1865. They're not going to tell you about no Moorish charity school for Indian education. How the fuck is that even possible? It's like when you listen to racist whites talk, now you can't even really get mad anymore because you got to look at them like, oh, you're just a nigger. And like, I'm not the nigger, you're a nigger. No, you are a nigger because you are really uneducated and stupid. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about at all, sir. You're like lost. Big time lost. The only ones who know what they talking about is them Dave Duke type motherfuckers. Why? Because they study a certain time of American history, and that's Reconstruction. Listen to Dave Duke in that interview he did with Jesse Jackson, or that conversation they had. And listen to how he's talking about there was a time when whites didn't have no Christianity. It was took from them. They didn't have no rights, nothing. He's talking about the Southern way. I've broke down a little bit about that, about, well, who had true Christianity and how they were using it, and then how the fuck can this person claim to be a Christian and they're burning crosses? It doesn't make any sense. Then you get the Shriner situation, and then you realize that the Klan is an offshoot of the Shriners. Not calling Shriners bad. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that whole mystery and covering up and hiding themselves, that's where it came from. And the original shit, what am I doing? And the original fucking Klan outfit looks like what? It don't look like what you can say Santa Claus, but bro, it don't look like what the fuck y'all thinking. It don't look nothing like what y'all talking about at all. Kinda, you know what I'm saying? For the record, let's keep it real. Kinda reminds us of this. Something I told y'all a long time ago about this Islam shit and about how it's not what y'all think it is. It's the first spell over here. The first spell over here is the Muslims. Okay, now, who's fucking with Islam? All three of them. The white dude is secretly on the low through the Shriners, aka and then broke that down through the Klan. The NOI Muslim and the Moor. The NOI Muslim doesn't get shot the fuck up and beat the fuck up during civil rights. They ain't even been infiltrated, bro. They claim they was infiltrated with that Malcolm X shit. That was a setup. That was an inside job. So how the fuck can this black radical racist group get through problems? How did the 501c3 Hebrew Israelites just get through problems? How can they just say this shit on the street corners and ain't nobody saying it? They're like, oh, no, because they're in fear of it. They know our God. What God? You talking about the corrupt system, God? Is that the one you talking about? Because you got the 501c3 for a reason, motherfucker. You had to have that paperwork for a reason, motherfucker. So I'm saying that to say this because I can hear people. Well, the Muslims ain't ruling the world, bro. So why would motherfucker? You are talking about pale-faced Muslims. I'm not talking about them. Everybody want to blow them motherfuckers up. Ain't no. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the inner sanctum secret lodge meetings and who would be able to spellcast the world because they're the spellcaster. Ain't everybody doing jazz, blues, rock and roll, hip hop, all that? Okay, ain't that made by one particular group? Ain't that spellcasting everybody in the fucking world? Okay, so who would be running it? It would have to be one of these motherfuckers. It would have to be. It's logic, it's common sense. It has to be one of them. That's what I'm saying. It's like it has to be a nigga running the world because how would you be able to keep these spells coming when you know who the original spellmaster or spellcaster is? It ain't Paleface. Paleface is a student. Always was and always will be. Everybody's a student. That's one secret that these motherfuckers did tell you. They tell you everybody comes from Africa. But that's not true. What they're saying is everybody's coming from this African masonry. That's what they're saying. Because the Moors gave it to Paleface in the late 1400s. That's when Freemasonry is created. We're not talking about masonry, just building. No. We're not talking about esoteric masonry where you're taking allegorical wisdom and using astrology and all that. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Freemasonry. We're talking about the cowtail and the square and compass and the chessboard and all this stuff that has it's applying to something. All that's late 1400. But that's when some group that the public school programming history don't tell about. They don't talk about who was ruling the world before white supremacy started and who was falling. They ain't never showed us those pictures of them Moor kings in England and stuff, all in them castles and shit with all that gold on. They never show that shit at all. And then when you meet people from, Europe, hey, hello, yeah, I'm from London. Yeah, they don't never talk about it. So clearly you have to be an educated person or a researcher to even understand this conversation because you're just going to go off the surface and be like, oh, no, blacks were slaves. Look, this is what it says. It's like, no, bro, that's all programming. That's all programming. Technically, selected people were slaves. It wasn't even just black slaves here. That's the fucked up part where it's like you just try to put it on a group. But why? Because they weren't black at that time. But the word initiates slavery. That's why they called the Brazilian Indians Negroes. That's what the word means. They could use any other word. They could use Moreno if they want. But why would they do that? That's more. But wait, what does Moreno mean? It means tan. It means shaded. That's what it means. Negro means black. Okay, but Sambora, I think that's how you say it. That means black, but that means like agony black. You know what I'm saying? Like they use that word like if you were watching a horror movie in a different country or something, they would use that word. Then there's Pedro. Ain't Santa Claus' little friend, the little black dude, ain't his name Pedro or something like that? And Pedro, ain't that his name? Tell me I'm not good. Tell me I'm not good. I'm showing you this shit. just one language. I only speak one language. Tell me I'm not good. Proving itself. Like, whoa, his little black homie show name did start with a P and show was that. What the fuck? And he's a helper. He's a good guy. Why'd they call him Negro? It's not a dirty word. It's to place on someone that you're trying to defoul. You're trying to say that they're foul. But that's okay. That's okay. You can claim that I'm whatever you want. But if I couldn't have been that dirty, you wouldn't want to have been over here. You wouldn't want to take my shit if it wasn't worth taking. Land is full of savages. There's nothing over here. They need our help. Fucking black ignorant niggers, loud, stupid jazz music. They need our help. Fucking dumb Negro hip hop shit. They need our help. Let's take all their fucking ideas. Saturday Night Live skit all day to Clarence's. Hey, Bull, let's kick Clarence out the band and steal all those good ideas. That's basically what happened. So in a nutshell, are these Moors still around? Are they really still here? With the elites, running the elites, creating these illusions, keeping everybody fucked in the ass. I don't know. It could work. It could. If I'm saying they're spellcasters and their whole thing is an illusion, well, would it be an illusion to put the white guy in front, acting like he's running the show, but he's really not? They're the main fight. That's the main argument. Even though there is Hispanic racism, they don't never blow that shit up like black versus white. Even though there is Asian racism, they don't never blow that shit up like black versus white. For some reason, they keep that chessboard at play all day. Y'all let me know, man. Y'all let me know. It's been a good one. Till the next time. Go.